Hey, Corky here on a Friday. This video pertains to chord substitutions. The song in case and point is Raccoon by the Beatles, maybe by Paul McCartney. Okay. A couple of cool things about the song. It's number one, it's talking blues. So one of the skills that you have to do when you're playing old-time music, particularly solo acoustic guitar, in restaurants, coffee houses, little churches, Bible studies, house concert, whatever you're doing, is to be able to talk while you're strumming and picking out things on guitar. So that's a skill you might not get in the first few years, but it's a part of American guitar playing, and it will, if you stay at it, it will be a skill that you'll be able to do. So back in the day when the Beatles, were the biggest thing going, if you wanted to learn a Beatles guitar song, you would have to go to the music store and buy sheet music for the song. It maybe had the chords over the words, but most of the sheet music, I suspect, was transcribed by a keyboard player. And so the chords that are given there, we didn't know exactly how those chords were formed or what form of the chord it was. And so we had to see that on TV or somewhere else until now you've got YouTube and you've got everything. So much so that my 55 years of experience will cause me to play a guitar a certain way, and I don't call it what all these jacked up Berkeley online music theorists can think. So God bless them. Most of them are kind to me. I don't know what to call the stupid things. I never wanted to memorize numbers playing music, so I didn't do it. But I can show you how it would have been formed and how it goes. So get whatever you can get out of this. If you need to critique me, you're welcome to, but it doesn't help the situation because I'm an old user. I'm showing you how we played these things. So the point of the video is chord substitutions. So you might have gotten a Beatles chord book, and for Rocky Raccoon, the chords may have said A minor to D to G to C to E. And so what you have to do as a guitar player, and now you can get the absolute tab on it if you read tablature, and it'll show you where to put every finger and which version of the chord. So if you just, in the old days, if you just had the sheet music, it would probably say A minor, then D, then G, C. That's the straight chords, okay? Those chords you learn right up front, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, not H, and you had minors and flats. So that might be all you could find on Rocky Raccoon. But Paul McCartney used some very cool chord substitutions. And in the first A minor, he's using one by adding this G note, okay? You've heard it, right? So I don't remember that chord ever being used. So right up front, Paul is giving us a surprise. And that's what you want to do with the audience and listeners. He's not using the James Bond version, which is that one, probably credited to Jimmy Page, way back when. By adding different notes to a standard chord, given a new version of it. And he's using a monotonic bass line, which means just one note. Which if this song falls in the category of blues, and it probably does, talking blues, then you know, if it falls into that category, then you want to talk about whether he's using an alternating. He's not going. That would be the alternating. But he's using a monotonic, just one bass note, okay? Okay, then instead of a standard D, he plays a D7, and he hits a D note, and then he adds the suspended note, right? And then he uses a G7, then he does a walk up. It's real important that you notice he's giving you a lot of variety in guitar technique here. He's doing a chord substitution, which is going to get your attention. He's using a monotonic bass line, which makes it real like blues. And then he adds a walk up and a walk down. The walk up is booked himself a room in the local saloon. Now, right there, if you were doing just the standard chords, it would be booked himself a room in the local saloon, E, and then go to A minor, okay? But he doesn't do that. I don't believe he does that. The E chord is there. It's an E, maybe an E7, maybe a straight E, but he only represents it by hitting the B note of the E chord. So he goes, local saloon, then, okay. Walk down. Now I've had buddies that I've played this song with that would go ahead and do the full E. Maybe Paul did that, maybe he didn't. You know, you're entitled to your own mythical belief about that. And then on the bass guitar that Paul overdubbed in it, he emphasizes those notes that he wants to make important. And even though that's technically an E chord there, he only wants to emphasize the voicing with the strong B note, okay? So that's Rocky Raccoon. So you notice that in the case of the A minor and the D, and in the case of the E, he wants to give you a different chord or a different sound. And it is a sound that is part of our collective memory of the Beatles' White Album. Okay? So, you know, guess what? All the British guys didn't come up with all the best stuff. The Beatles knew what the best stuff was. And in this case, it's an American blues and American guitar part that he wants to play. Okay? Y'all have a great day. Stay cool if you can.